Hey guys. All right, so I am extremely excited. Oh, bear with me. Forgot to get my phone. Woo. Okay, so let me just get this so I can see your questions. If you are tuning in to Facebook on this divine Saturday night, give me a hello. I'm going to just make sure that I am popping in right here. If you can just let me know that you can hear me, that would be great. And tell me where you are coming from right now. Let me just see if I can see everyone. Okay, perfect. So I'm extremely excited to talk about how to launch a weight loss program. This is my jam, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, and I've talked about this a lot over, I would say, the last week since we have officially launched the Winter Done For You programs. We have been talking about weight loss a ton, and I have been talking about this in strategy sessions. So yes, if you have not gotten a strategy session with me, please do, because the coaches who have taken me up on this are smarty pants. I have done, let me say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have done 17 strategy sessions, helping coaches to build out their intuitive sales funnel. And for any coach who has been on that strategy session with me, they know that some of those calls have taken an hour. And we have literally gone through like mind mapping. We have started out with a coach even saying, I think I should do this. And we have just walked through and really built that out for what is right for that coach. And, for some of you who know this, and I even know this for my business, like it can get really confusing because it's our business. So if you agree that it can get really confusing because it's our business, drop a heart, please, in the comment section, because that is why we need think tanks. That is why we need mind mapping with other people. So second part is that we've talked a lot about weight loss because even if digestion or thyroid or hormones, and I'm just saying some of the niches that we have on our systems on www.yourhealthcoachbiz.com, and I'm going to say this for a reason: sugar, cleansing, gut health is because, and there is a method to my madness, guys. I say madness in a good way, is because people don't buy because, stuff is, or people don't hire you or buy because stuff is really good. I wish that was the case. People come to us because something is not good. And it's not usually driven because somebody goes, oh, I want to work on all of these, pieces that were really like terrible in my life. And so I want to work on my mindset issues. Most often, I would say, unless somebody's following Pema Chodron, Rumi, Danielle Laporte, Gabby Bernstein, and I've said this about 17 times in the last 2 days. That's us, guys. And I'm not discrediting anybody in the world because there are a lot of people, Arianna Huffington even. Why did Arianna Huffington start writing about sleep and making this pivotal movement? Even Gary Vee, why is he starting to write about being positive? Because we know as entrepreneurs that we have to be in that place. We know as leaders that we have to talk about this. But most people, we don't make a change until something is painful. That happened for me. You know, even though I've been on this road, this journey since I was, 17, my first, oh no, actually 14, I read Nietzsche with my boyfriend. But that first journey, that real journey was when I read, The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. And then I did Est with my boyfriend and stuff like that with his mother. But I would say that I don't make those major changes in my life unless something is not working. So I've said this, like I said, 17 times. Our clients don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning at the height of the liver, which is the Chinese meridian clock, and say, wow, I really have to make mindset changes. We wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, I hope I lose weight because I don't like myself. Or we look at in the mirror before we go to sleep as we're doing, washing our face, and we say, maybe even subconsciously, I don't like how I look. I want you to drop a 1 if you agree with what I'm saying in the comment section. We also subconsciously look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I don't like who I am. We also, if we're overweight, or even if we have body image stuff, per the work of Janine Roth, look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you're ugly, you're fat, I don't want to be touched. Or I don't want to go out with my friends. And I've had clients who have said this, all different ages. So it's not that you shouldn't work in mindset. It's not that you shouldn't work in all of these different. I want you to think about the very pain points that are driving people to come to you. And these people are coming to you not because the end result shouldn't be them working in mindset. We all know that. But for you to have a fruitful and profitable and sustainable business, I'm going to tell you what I needed to shift in my mindset. Is that people were coming to me. I was working in the digestion and cleansing niche. But what I realized is the marketing niche, the message that I needed to say, because all these people were coming to me for weight loss. It clearly wasn't what I was saying. I've never had a problem with weight except the one time a boy broke my heart because he slept with a girl who was, in my swimming relay, and it broke my heart, and I just emotionally ate myself 30 pounds heavier. It was the only time, and when I got pregnant twice, But other than that, weight was not an issue. But all these people were coming to me saying, I want to lose weight. That wasn't the core issue. There are clearly people in the world who have metabolic issues, who have emotional, spiritual, and we hold on to weight. But people were coming to me just for, wanting to lose weight. And especially during the time of December, January, note these times, about to go into, Valentine's Day, March, because they were going on vacation, May, because they were going on vacation, June, because it was summer. Then once they came back from vacation in August, then when they were getting ready, for holiday in September, it was always during holidays. So just make sure that you stay in, always looking at the calendar year. And then of course, right after Halloween, people want to get their body back. Right after Thanksgiving, because everyone stuffed themselves, and always during the holidays because people were stressed. And then especially beginning of December, and people go quiet, at this holiday time. But what happens? Right at that time where they come back, we make this resolution right now. And this is the biggest time of the year. So coaches who are forward thinking right now about their business, you're taking the advanced steps to not only think about your business for right now, but you're also setting the stage for a very successful year. Because if you can forward think for 3 months, Todd Herman talks about this, know your 90-day. If you can know your 90-day, you can know your 6-month, can know your 9-month, can know your year. Because it's a rinse and spin. So I want to dive right into how to launch a weight loss program. I also want you to open up and let go right now of some dogmatic thinking. The dogmatic thinking gets us stuck in, well, my story is about autoimmune, or my story is about digestion, or my story is about helping people with this. We often get very stuck in a certain way of thinking, or thinking that our clients want X, Y, and Z. When at the end of the day, women especially are driven by weight, getting off sugar, better poop, better skin, better hair, better sleep, better sex drive, less wrinkles, anti-aging, better stomach issues because that's belly bloat. I know those are superficial, very superficial stuff. And you might be thinking, it's ridiculous. I know all this other stuff. And I guarantee you that there's a myriad of other health issues like disease and autoimmune and all that other stuff. But these are the 10 biggies. And then it's really clear to break it down, the simple niches: weight loss, hormones, digestion, sugar, and the ones that you see we've laid down. So if you agree that the 10 big ones are the ones that drive people, because even though you can have, and please drop a 2 if you agree with this, you know people that have major health issues and they're not doing something about it. But if you mention the word anti-aging or cellulite, they are right on it. Like, ta-da. Or if you say, woo, this will help your hair. Or, woo, this will help the wrinkles. Woo, we are right in. So, just really think about this time. Just think about this time right now and think about what people are driven by. The other thing I just want to say really clearly is that making any changes in life for clients, it's scary. I've done moms groups. I've worked corporate wellness. I've done lunch bunches. I've done shopping tours. I've done VIP days. I've done multiple VIP days where I've been hired by very wealthy families to come in to their homes and work with their nannies, their cooks, their families. I've worked with teams. I've worked with teams for, people who were very sick. I've worked online, offline, worked with gyms. I've worked with chiropractors, doctors, you name it. I've spoke, I've taught. I've been very blessed to, I do essential oils. I do a high luxury hair care line. I'm very blessed to really get what you guys are in, the thick of it. Meaning, I've built my business from scratch. I've created courses. I've worked with no team. I've worked with a team. So if you ask me a question, I guarantee that I can support you and tell you what I have done. So with that being said, let me just add one more, and then we're going to get down to business on this PowerPoint. As far as pricing, a lot of you ask me about pricing, and I always tell you pricing is really strategic. I have priced programs Very low for do-it-yourselves, which are self-paced programs where somebody is doing it on their own. I will suggest this, you take it or leave it. Those programs are typically where they are in between 4 days at maximum of like 21. That's maximum. I suggest that those, when you get over 14, are done where you either build it like course, like Teachable or, Thinkific or Kajabi, or if you go old school or on the less expensive route, that you add videos. What do videos do? It gives it a simple what to do. They don't have to be long videos. They could be 2-minute. For example, I always, and I didn't have any of those platforms. I would do, this is how you skin brush. This is how you tongue scrape. This is how you do a castor oil pack. They don't have to be with a Diva ring light. They don't have to be formal. All you need is a computer or a phone to do those videos and to shoot them. You don't have to be good at videos. Just you have to be yourself. If you're not good at videos and you don't want to do them, just make it really clear, like step by step. When you go over into the self-paced, like past 21 to longer, I do suggest at a course. And why do I say that? Is because it gives people small bite-sized chunks. Chunk, like you can take any of the programs, and a lot of coaches do this, especially in the last 48 hours, the amount of coaches, nutritionists, registered dietitians, different people that I've talked to, a lot of people are doing courses these days. If you are struggling, or if you feel your people are programmed out, don't say program. Say, this is a 10-step course, or, move into maybe offline, or do a workshop or a masterclass. I have tons of my clients where, we do a program, then we take a season off and we masterclass it out. Because sometimes people just get sick of programs. I know I'm swinging it. Kavita, juice. This is what I mean about the intuitive sales funnel, is that you have to kind of feel what your people want. I know I'm giving a little of a lesson first, but I really want to empower you to let go of this dogmatic way of launching, because for each one of you, it's very different. And also we are in a very different time now. Everyone has a program. I mean, I'm not the only one doing done-free programs, and many of you not only buy from me, you buy from a lot of other people. So tons of people have programs. How does this relate to the pricing? For example, if you have an 8-week program, Sarah Wilson does an 8-week program for $187. It's not to say that you should not, just going to bring my calculator over here in case I need it. It's not to say that if you have not, and I talked to a coach yesterday who charges, $297 for a 2-month program. And I talked to one who charges $287 for a 1-month program. If you can get the numbers that you get them. Test it out. But if you feel that you're not going to get that, or you feel that you don't have that authority yet, I'd rather you get something and build that authority. Okay? And I want to make that really clear, is that you will build that. Don't think like, I'm never going to get there, because you will. I have seen coaches come from here to doing retreats and not just cheap retreats, like $4,000 retreats. So just know that like you will get there. And so just have faith. Don't overwhelm yourself. And now let's get to this amazing PowerPoint. Okay? Deep breath. Say to thyself, I will do this. I can do this. I'm very successful. And I believe in myself. How to launch a weight loss program. Okay. Step by step by step by step. So first off, as I said earlier, my name is Rachel Feldman, health coach for many, many years, gone business coach who creates done-for-you programs. These are the same programs that I launched in my own business. These are the same programs that I used online, that I used offline, that I launched gyms locally, that I worked in so many different ways, moms groups, everything. So here, pretty simple. Step one. These are the ones that I feel, without going into every program, that I feel are very simple to launch a weight loss. Because yes, could you just say, well, the 60-day weight loss program and easy weight loss? But I think that there are a lot of different options for each one of you. And again, this, I really feel like especially when I speak to many of you, there are certain ones that really call to you. And what do I mean by call to you? You will look at the sales page, for example, grain-free does not have a vegetarian option. So if you say right away, I need a vegetarian option, that you might want to check that off the list. Easy weight loss does not have a vegetarian option. So if you also want a longer program, easy weight loss and grain-free detox and grain-free are all what I call gateway programs. Easy weight loss is a 7-day program. Grain-free detox is a 14-day, as well as grain-free. Now, the thing is, there is so much content that you could easily break these into longer programs. How do you do that? Many people always say, how do I do that? All you're doing is going through and changing anywhere that it says 7-day. If you don't want to add to the shopping list, because it really does take 2 hours to create a shopping list. So if you don't want to do that, you advise and you edit in the welcome letter and in the guide, we are going to repeat this suggested meal. Or we are going to repeat this, or this is your meal matrix. So I encourage you, after we do this week or this 2 weeks, that you then go, because you're empowered and you know what you need to do. And so I want you to intuitively craft your meals. Many people are used to this. But if you feel that it adds value to have that, and that value adds price, or that value adds confidence to you, both are equally important, then take that time to do that. Again, there is so much information in those materials that you could, without a doubt, take that to be a longer program. The other thing that I have done is, with the detox, I charged $97 just for group coaching. I called it actually Sexy Group Coaching. I've actually taken the detox and I've launched that in about, over the years, I think 25 or maybe even 40. I know that's a range, but I don't have it off my head. So many different ways that if I went through the sales pages. So I just, at one point, just said, to make it easy, Sexy Group Coaching. Because I feel that when you do detoxify, body, mind, and spirit, you get that sexy back, because all those toxins, that is just toxins stored in fat. That's really what cellulite is about. I wrote this in an article in a magazine. That is all that cellulite is. So for anyone in the anti-aging, I can tell you people that it's pretty nasty. So if you wanted to even extend that, or if you wanted to just market that, at $97 per month, and your goal, I keep saying 30, $2,910. Or, which I did also on another time, is I just combined actually grain-free and detox. I had detox and then I moved them into grain-free. Again, it's just mapping in the welcome letter the two and explaining why. The biggest anytime that you launch is why. Why do you believe this is for ultimate weight loss? The other option is to buy sugar repair, low glycemic. And why do people often gain weight? Because they are addicted to sugar. So it really, for you, is about what does your niche need? What is their biggest pain point? What is that message that you feel people need to hear that is going to get them to convert? And then you reverse engineer. Because, you know, for anything, whether it's grain-free or it's detox or it's weight loss, what is potentially that webinar? What is potentially that giveaway? What is potentially that challenge? So that people go, oh, wow, this is so the program I need. For some people who really are pulled to thyroid. So why is this unique and why is this a great niche? Because many people with thyroid issues, and I was just saying this to somebody, you know, who doesn't have some thyroid imbalance in today's world, between toxins, between gluten, between, you know, just the adrenal issues that we have as a culture, no matter what culture we're in, that might be the thing that calls to you. So is it that you want to lead them from a probiotic challenge or lead them from the anti-aging into the thyroid program? Or is it that you want to do a webinar or start dripping that out in December and that is your weight loss program? Or that you're really called to a 60-day weight loss, which is our brand new weight loss program. And the philosophy that I have about weight loss, no matter what, whether it's a 7-day easy weight loss or a 60-day, which does have a vegetarian and an omnivore option, as well as thyroid, as well as sugar repair, is that I don't believe in counting calories. I don't believe in cutting carbs and all of that. Yes, of course, if you're eating junk food, that is just caloric junk going into your mouth. But we all have been in deprivation stages of dieting and stuff in the 80s where we lived on, you know, vinegar on a salad and we all screwed up our thyroid, or at least that was my story. And so, you know, the beauty of the stopping to say no, I remember when I finally was like, wow, I don't have to say no. You know, whatever your take on weight loss is, that is the beauty of what you get to share. That's why when I remember discovering Cynthia Pasquarella, her whole motto is what are you starving for? So if you believe in the work of Janine Roth or whatever you believe in, it's what calls to you. Is it that you feel like sugar is really the biggest thing? Is it that you feel like, you know, weight loss, that you really want to empower people to know that it's the emotional baggage that they're carrying? Or do you feel that it's really the thyroid, you know, or, and I didn't even put gut here, or do you feel like it's, you know, gut issues that can really stop somebody? Because that was more my thing, gut and toxins. So the reason that I never got, per se, in trouble telling somebody in a red state was that, you know, somebody would say, how much protein do I need to eat? And I would say, you know, this is the thing. It's not for me to tell you. It's not for me to tell you how many calories or carbs or fat, because I don't believe in that. That's why I believe in empowering you to really see. I'm just here to provide the tools and the education. And, you know, I was saying to somebody earlier that what I do feel like is different from what we provide in these materials is I've never seen anyone make changes by just getting a plan. That does not work for one person I know. That may work for short-term success, but that does not work for long-term change. Long-term change gets, and it may, and this is what I mean about coaching, is that coaching happens in this symbiotic, beautiful relationship. And coaching and success for the client as well as the coach only happens when there is trust and there's honesty. And I used to say to my clients, like, look, you tell me you're scared, I get that. But if you tell me that, well, I just had to like eat that, because I just don't want to deprive myself. But then if you tell me you feel like crap, then I don't get that. But if you tell me you're scared and you can't make these changes, that's totally understandable. Because that is the emotional part, then the old story and the mindset and the lifestyle changes that have to happen. And that is what coaching is about. That's why just giving a plan doesn't work. That's why these programs are not just a plan. It's about the habits, the mapping on the food diary, the really tapping into intuition of, am I really hungry? Like, what's my level of hunger? Or am I emotionally starving? Am I eating because I'm like binge eating because I'm stressed? Because I did that. And I think that is what most women, can't speak for a man because I'm not a man, but I do know, and I say this often, I do know, and I hope this does not sound sexist in any way, I do understand the stress of a lot of men because I support a family. So I kind of, I get to see both sides. That's a huge stress. And I was burnt out for many years because I didn't know how to handle the stress of feeling the mom and, feeling the stress of a mom of needing to feel like you need to do everything and balance it all and, and the pull of all of that. But also the stress of how is I going to support my family financially and take care of everything. So when you think about your client, think about change, and so sometimes even just the food diary can be scary because we're like, I remember saying to my client, what did you really eat? And they'd say, I know, I'm shoving my mouth with my kids' goldfish. And I was like, okay, so let's just really talk about that. Sometimes you'll never even get to the actual thing that you want to talk about because that's in the moment of the life. So I know we just deviated a little, but I think that it's really important for you guys to understand that these programs are a foundation for you to get people to your coaching and to your program. And sometimes they can't necessarily just jump into everything. You might have a person that's not ready to get to the mindset part, even though you know they so need it, but they just need to focus like only on the food. When you have a person who can't even focus on the food, they can only focus on the handout or like the guide. So just be flexible with people and be flexible with your coaching. Step 2, plan your launch. I can't tell you how many times I'm in a forum with the launch school or with a paid forum or with my free forum, and I see somebody say, I have not launched. Please drop a fire emoji. If you have been in the situation where you have planned to launch, you have wanted, heart, soul, mind, everything, and you have not launched. So this is what you are going to do to not do that. You are going to go to lucidchart.com. You are also going to plan your launch and get a huge whiteboard. You are going to commit 2 hours this week, 2 hours next week. And you're going to plan your dates. For some of you, you might need to commit 5 hours this week. And I know there's family. I get it. But if you all have goals, and I know many of you do, because I talk to a lot of you, and I know a lot of you for many, many years, you're going to have to do this. And it's going to take a little time, and it's going to, you might feel a little nervous, but you're going to have to plan your dates. So you're going to back up, and for any of you who buy, I just want to say this real loud and clear before we go on. For any of you who buy before December 16th, you not only get the first 250 bonuses that you see at www.yourhealthcoachbiz.com, but you also get a 90-minute class. I am going to help you plan out your launch and also show you how to decrease tech overwhelm. But I want you to plan your dates. That means you're backing up. You back up from closed cart to open cart, bonus offerings, masterclasses, if anything, webinars, if anything, challenges, giveaway, to the sales page, to all the dates, everything. This is all on sheet. So you task so that you don't get to that last minute rush and you're freaking out and your adrenal fatigue and that's why when everyone is like, wow, Rach, you don't look like you're dying. It's because I've mastered that part. Plan your pre-launch. Your pre-launch is so important. It's why I love when I didn't even post this testimonial. I got one testimonial. Somebody bought the ketogenic guide. She sent me an email. Rach, thank you so much. I took the ketogenic guide. I added some recipes. This was amazing. She launched it for $17 as a tripwire. And she said it was like 231 people that she had in. 231. Amazing, right? Crazy town. So I want you to even think of things like that. Tripwire. So when I talk about the meal plan membership, which is business, it's pretty much the healthy hustle, which we used to do. You get business 101 calls with me and the meal plans for $67. You could tripwire those recipes, 4 weeks of suggested meals and shopping list. $7. If you got 20 people to buy that, that's $140. So I just want you to, even if you added that as a bonus, I want you to start thinking simple. I said to my husband tonight, we always pick a word for the year. I know, I'm not only like just superstitious, like woo-woo, badass kind of. I would say badass means woo-woo, but we pick a word for the year. Our word this year is simplicity. We're simplifying everything in our life. We're not going little. We're not going little house. Although I'm trying to get him to move to Costa Rica, but he won't. But I want you to think simplicity. I want you to think strategic and simple. It's the SS system. Plan your dates, plan your pre-launch, plan your strategy. And when you plan strategic, I want that when you do that, you're not going to work as hard. Plan your bonuses, like plan ahead. Think right now, well, if I do a sales page, what if I did an extra class for everyone? Think high value, like what would your people want? So meaning, does everyone for weight loss get really excited? I had one of my favorite ladies out there. I'm just going to give her a shout out. She's my Ayurveda queen. Nat Schellenbacher, I was talking to her, showing her the anti-aging program, the opt-in freebie. And I was like, oh my God. I said, I forgot how great this was. I'm going to launch this, as like an opt-in freebie for essential oils. I'm just going to give this to anyone who signs up on my team because this is like sick. And so think about stuff like that. Like what would be a great special? Not just on your sales page, but like, hey, if you buy in the first, week, you'll get this for free. So plan that out. Think about your avatar. Are they busy moms? Are they corporate? Like, are they athletes? What is their thing? What do they need? For 1 year, what I did is I gave lemon essential oil to everyone who bought in the first week, who bought my detox. So if this was weight loss, I would give, a grapefruit essential oil to everyone who bought. So just plan ahead so that you're not scrambling, so that all that stuff is really clear. Step 3, edit your materials. I can't tell you how many times I sit in a forum and I feel like a bird watching over. Like, I go in there, and you all see me who I post. I post, I wake up at 5 to 5:30 in the morning. And I post day 1 of launch, day 2, day 3. And I'm like, I feel like a broken record. Edit your materials. And I know for some of you, the tech is hard. And I mean like even editing the footers. For some of you who are my one-on-one clients, I just say, oh, that's it. I'm doing it myself. I was getting my nails done tonight before I came to this because they were a hot mess. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, between my nails and my toes tonight, it was 50. So back in the day, when I didn't have it, and I actually was talking to this woman, which was a really interesting conversation because she rescues cats. And she was like, I have to get a website built. And I turned to her, I said, oh my God, do Squarespace. And I was telling her how if a client comes to me and is spending the money to work with me and says, I don't have the money for a site, I said, don't worry, we'll build a Squarespace. And when you can, you'll take that Squarespace and you'll, if you so choose, either get a VA, a virtual assistant, or you'll convert it to WordPress. And she said, I need to just get, have somebody do it. I just don't have the money. And I said to her, well, you'll stop getting your nails done. And she said, you're smart. And I said, well, that's what you'll just make a sacrifice. So what I'm saying to you is what I'm saying to her, what I said to her, is that if you need that, make the sacrifice for the virtual assistant between 20 to 45, depending on what they charge, so that you can get that done so you can move forward. Edit your free gift or your list builder right now, and think about that as part of the plan. Or if you buy one of the all-inclusive or Rockstar, it has one. But if you find that maybe that is not enough, even though I feel like we put in very high value ones, maybe not as content rich as some of the ones you see right here. And I pulled out some ones that I just thought were very high value for this time of year. 5-day clean eating, 7-day skinny dress, anti-aging, the 4-day jump start, the holiday survival, probiotic challenge. Oops, I misspelled that. Sorry, I wrote this up. I always spell that one. But then you edit that right now and you chop on that so that you have that running December. Do a little IG story on that. Do a little live stream or something. If you want us to do a done for you sales page, we do it in 7 business days. And you define the delivery of your materials. Is it e-junkie? Are you putting them in a Facebook forum? Make sure you edit your sales page so that you can get that. And it's not difficult. Even today for one of my clients, we are redoing the copywriting for her homepage. And, we're doing it together. So what did I do? I said, love, can you, make a copy of your homepage for me? She's like, I don't know how to do this. So what did I do? I went and made a page. So we have a working page, and I just started writing the copy, but not a picture. That's all it takes. And if you need someone to then go in and do that little extra love, meaning put that in the navigation, that stuff I don't do. I'm not going to go do that on somebody's site. But making an extra page is not difficult. That's what I used to do in the beginning of my business, and that's what I call simplicity. Or do it on a blog, or e-junkie, or maybe ClickFunnels or lead pages. Keep it simple. We'll let us do it for you. But don't sit there or do it on a Facebook event and put the PayPal, pay me, or, that pay me link. Get it done. Back in the day, I will tell this story. I don't know. I swear I'm having a Southern accent these days. I have this one amazing client. She had this most Southern accent, and I talk to her all the time. I think I've turned into a Southern accent. Back in the day, my first few launches, I had Eventbrite because I couldn't figure out the PayPal button on my own site, which was where I made sales pages. So I had it through Eventbrite, and I would see the PayPal come in, and I would, from my BlackBerry, I would be going like this: "I'll be home in 15 minutes. Thank you so much for buying." So as soon as I got home, and back then I didn't even know how to do Dropbox. I'm telling you this because I want you to understand where I was. It was not pretty, but I did it. And so back then, I didn't let myself, and this woman at the nail salon actually said that to me, because I told her, I said, I cried over MailChimp. I remember sitting at my kitchen table. I was crying. My husband would come back. He said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm building a Wix website." I had no idea what to do, but I just kept doing it. And so when I hear people say, I have your program, or I have somebody else's, or I'm trying, and there's no momentum forward, it kills me. And it doesn't kill me. It kills me for a few reasons, because you want it and you're not going after it for some reason. I don't know what the disconnect is. That's the part you have to tap into. There's the mindset part. There's the fear part. There's the part of overwhelm. But I think it also is that possibly just like when my daughter gets a project, or Max or Sammy get a project, sometimes we leave everything to the end because there's overwhelm. So my husband and I have to make sure that like each little step, and we say it to our kids, don't wait to the last minute. Mom and Dad are here to help, because if you wait to the last minute, it's going to feel so overwhelming. There's going to be tears. You're not going to want to do it. So we have to push them, each little. Okay, let's do a little. Let's do a little. Let's do a little. Let's do a little. And we make sure we do that. So you need to make sure that you check right now, and you really have that talk with self. What is holding back? So I want you to define the delivered material. So you can keep it real simple. And you can put those materials, put them in Dropbox, the Word documents, then make another file folder. And this is what I'm going to show you in the 90-minute class as well. I'm going to take you through my whole launch process of what I even do for my clients, and what I would do for myself as well. Put the PDFs. I'm going to show you a few different ways. I'm going to mock out the whole thing with a simple launch, and just even one that you could do that maybe is not as simple, but still doable. To do a junkie, do a password protected page. You could do it in Facebook forum, edit the emails, get them all done. If you buy programs from us, you will have the emails done for you. You want to edit the marketing materials. That's also why we give social media, because that stuff takes. I even sat this morning trying to make a marketing image, and I was like, I was laughing at myself, because that's why also we get people, not myself, to do it, because it didn't look as cute, clearly, because that's not my zone of genius. I always say that. It's not my zone of genius. I'm a pretty simple, clearly. I'm wearing black, that's black in that picture. I keep my clothes pretty simple. I'm not a designer. It's not my jam. So that's why we do those materials, because that last minute rush is not good. So edit your materials, get it in automation so that it's done. And if you don't have that, if you're buying a program from me, or maybe you have a program or you're buying like an opt-in freebie and you're turning that maybe into a more umphy something, look at Steal My Copywriter. If you feel like you need the 27 tech tutorials, all of the modules, the bonuses that are in Launch School, as well as that ongoing support forum, look at Launch School. If you feel like you need the business mastermind, as well as the meal planning membership. And the reason that I created this was I didn't want to just do a business membership. I did want to, and you can look at that. It's at www. Your Health Coach Biz, but it's on the farthest right navigation. I wanted to do something where we had a business forum, and I could teach classes on like how to launch a webinar and when you strategically sell, how to build your list when you even have no list, all those things that you guys asked me. So we're doing a business call the first Thursday. We are doing a live Q&A the third Thursday. If you are in another country, if you can't be on those calls, don't worry. You can ask questions, submit them, and everything will be recorded. So if you buy Q1, for example, you get all the materials 3 months. So Q1, you drop out. Q2, and you decide to come back Q3, you have Q1 and Q3. If you're a founding member, I'm only doing this once, I'm giving you 99 images for free, and I'm also giving you the month of December for free, because this is just a rarity that we're starting in November, and I want to start that Q1 in January. So I want to just take some questions right now. Let me just see on Facebook. Hold on. If we have any questions. Hold on. Okay, Debbie's asking, what is a CRM? So a CRM is a contact management system. So if you don't have a CRM, so typical CRMs is like Infusionsoft, Active Campaign, Entreport. Then what you can do is typically use, MailChimp, eWeber. Wouldn't ever use Constant Contact. I'm sorry, Constant Contact. I did start with you, but it wasn't so much of a pretty experience. So I'm sorry. Many also use, ConvertKit. You will see ConvertKit. You'll use Get Response, MailerLite. I always say, no one wants to switch. Oh, and many look at Kajabi, oh, thank you. Many look at, like Kajabi and stuff like that. Kajabi is really like also an in-house everything membership. You can send emails from Kajabi. Depends what level that you have. But still, many people who have Kajabi still have an external email service and use their email marketing system for their courses. So it just depends your needs. Okay, Debbie's saying I've not been able to load yesterday's replay. I keep getting an error. Yes, Debbie, I apologize. And that is because there was actually an error just with the dates. So yesterday was actually today. So if you are seeing this on YouTube after and you don't understand what I just said, that is because there was just an error on the sign up page, and we were actually, this was today's date. So what you are seeing on how to launch a weight loss program for a health coach for the new year or at any time is actually happening on today. So let me see if I have any other questions. I will also say that if you're looking to do referrals or partnerships, that is a huge, it's a huge opportunity. I will also, encourage you that at any time of the year to be reaching out to people. Drop the fear and get with the fun. It's one of my favorite lines that I say to my clients and I say to myself, because I think that we too often are like, what if they say no? What if they say yes? You only are going to build those great relationships by letting people know what you're about and by introducing yourself. So I encourage you to do that. Also, to take in an example of your program. Don't take in the whole program. Only when you do have that full sit down with somebody to talk about that full collaboration, you need to have an NDA signed, because that, and it doesn't mean, no contract, of course, means that there is that maybe something could have never happened, but I try to have a positive attitude about everything, meaning that good karma and all of that good stuff. So I do encourage you to find out who are the people that you could collaborate with, the gyms locally, gyms that don't have people already doing what you're doing, CrossFit. I walked into many different CrossFit gyms with my paleo and grain-free program. I walked into many gyms with the intention to talk about my weight loss program, my sugar program, and also pitch them that I'm different than other people. I don't sit there and dwell on calories. I'm not going to just talk about what other people maybe I've done with them. And I also can bring an element of an online aspect that they maybe have not had before. Just a few key pointers on how to pitch. Another element on how to launch a weight loss program, online and offline, is that you can also go in and do a 60-40, 70-40 split. You can also do this with yoga studios, gyms, a lot of even, med spas. That's very popular here in Florida, very popular in warm climates as well. And they're always interested in looking for people who can take the brunt of running the program while they bring in the people. 60-40 to a 70-30 is going to depend on the marketing that they do. Most often you're going to handle the part of the program, and they might handle the payment processing, or you're going to handle that. Depends. And those are the negotiations that you do. And then you put that also in the contract. I highly encourage to do that so that things are very clear, because you never want to burn a bridge in a relationship. I also encourage you, when you're launching, in your pre-launch and even now, to start doing videos. I talk about videos a lot. I'm not saying email marketing is dead. I'm not saying social media is dead, but you never know where your clients are going to come from. So if you live in a rural area, or you're looking to break into the online market, or you're looking to get visibility or more strategy sessions, I encourage you greatly to start doing videos or even live Q&As, or look for influencers to video them, and, start doing those kind of questions, live Q&As with people, or even take a PowerPoint from one of the programs that you buy, go through that. Zoom is one of my favorite things, or Be Live TV through Chrome, or, a live stream. And you could even do it with your phone, and have a cool little tripod like this, or one of those claw tripods. That's really easy. Or just prop it up against something again. Simplicity. Don't wait for the perfect moment, and take somebody through the experience. People don't like, know, and trust if they don't understand what you're about. So if you're not sharing what your story was, or you're not sharing what you're about, I don't know why someone's going to hire you. So that's kind of the whole like pre-launch part. And that's why when we talk about launching, we talk about it usually in a launch of 6 to 8 weeks. It's not that it takes you 8 weeks to launch, that the pre-launch is the longest part of it. You know, you can lock yourself in a room, and actually one of the case studies is actually Kim Ivey, who when I first met her, she pretty much did that. She pretty much locked herself. She has a boatload of kids. And she was like, I just locked myself in a room and just got everything together, everything edited. She had built authority in her essential oil business, and she decided to launch. And she had a bunch of people sign up in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, did really, really well. But she made it happen, and she showed up and she did the work. There are a bunch of testimonials, bunch of case studies that you can see. So it's not just out of my mouth. I mean, these are people who, you know, really nailed down their message. So it's not just buying a program. It's understanding your niche, understanding what they would want, understanding if they are more inclined for a shorter program, a longer program, understanding if they're better face-to-face or better online, understanding if they're more inclined to do a workshop, understanding if they're better at a course. And I know that might be like spinning you, like, oh, what do I do? Don't overthink it. When I say that, what is the first thing that comes to you? I want you to actually drop that in the comments. What is the first thing? I will applaud anyone who actually does that, because anyone who does that, I think, has, I won't even say a nasty word, trying to work on that these days. Let me say just has strength, because I think when we show up and we actually, you know, share what is in our mind, that shows me that you are a leader. That's actually what it is. It shows me that you are a leader. So if you feel like, you know, my people would love a workshop, you know, then you have to do that. If you feel that your people would more love cooking demo, and they want to be in it, and you visualize seeing, you know, people around your kitchen, and you're making stuff, and you see them making these protein balls in any one of our programs, and you give them the program, and that is like a $50 workshop, and you can have 15 people in your house. That's $750. I see that all the time. And that's community. Okay, Katie, love it. Leader number 1. I'm going to give a shout out to Katie Gardner. That is so awesome. So I just want you to like really take that in on what that is, the intuitive part. So intuitive sales funnel is not just mapping out the sales funnel. It's mapping out what you really think your people will want and why. So then I want you to write that down on your whiteboard. And I want your vision board to be like, what do you see your business? Put at the top my business on the left, and put my life on the right. Because your life on the right has to be your health. What do you need to be doing? Today I knew, went through a launch, wasn't at the gym. So even my husband looked at me and was like, you better go for a run today. I was like, I know. So I went for a run. I was not as strong as I wanted to be. So I'm going to go for a run tomorrow. And tomorrow is arms, and it's, you know, core, and it's everything. So that is on my vision board, what I need to do for my health. So I want you to be very clear. Business, health. What do you see? What's going to get you there? What do you need to be doing? How much sleep? Are you taking care of your adrenals? That's all your business. It's not just the map. It is so all these parts, spirit, soul, your chakras. That is all what brought me back to life and back to the center of feeling so whole and in alignment with everything I want to do and everything I am doing. So really tap into, what do you visualize? Like, what do you see? Because your excitement for what you see is going to bring in the people, because they're going to be excited. I'm going to give a shout out to Debbie Platjenoff. I talked to her, her excitement and her video that I saw through our video challenge, and that went viral, and all the work that she has put in through all the years that I've known her has brought, like, and I even said to her, I was like, you are going to blow up in a good way, because I feel that passion. So bring that. It's not just passion, like, oh, I want to do this. It's like, really share with people and don't hold back, because that's what people buy. Jen is saying, my ideal clients are busy women, so I'm thinking it needs to be quick chunks of info. So if it's busy people, I would not go, even though when I did corporate, and I know how to pitch a detox to corporate, I would say, like, this is a clean eating program for weight loss, but I think I would say either to go with like the 7-day weight loss, or I would say a sugar program, or I would say something that is like, if it's corporate, I always say you are going to get off sugar so you can make more money, because I worked corporate. We were all about energy and money. I mean, that was our jam. In corporate, I worked in a boiler room setting. In the middle of the day, we would bet on each other and who could make more calls and who could do more push-ups. So if you're working corporate, energy and money. And, because corporate, I would wake up at 4:00 in the morning, and I would go to the gym, and I would be the first person in and the last person out. And so you are, no matter woman or man, you need to be able to come in and feel great, look great, have energy, and make money. And that is what you want to do. So Jen, I would say sugar, and I would say if you want to lead in, you could lead in with possibly, sugar has got great opt-ins, but if you really wanted to kind of test, you could even come in with something about even ketogenic, which would be a little biohacking, to kind of like test a little the market, because that could be like, hey, a little guy kind of thing to kind of feed into the guy. Like, hey, have you heard about Bulletproof? And you could even do a little giveaway with like some Bulletproof coffee, or like some coconut oil, or some, something like that, something real like cool and fun. Or you could even do the probiotics, something about like, look, I'm giving away something that's all about energy. So I would really focus energy, sugar, get off this so you can make more money, or focus on grain-free and make that all. So when I worked with athletes, I was like, energy. And I did grain-free. So, but Jen, let me know, because if you need to do a strategy session, we will nail that baby to the wall. And that's what I mean, guys. Like, if you need to get with me, trust me, we will figure that out, and we will figure out like exactly what needs to happen. Don't just sit there and sit in a forum and be like, oh, wow, I bought all these programs from her. And then I took this other course, and then I bought another program from someone else, and I'm not doing anything. That ain't happening. I've said this before, no coach left behind. And this isn't just me like putting my phone number out there. Like, I'm saying this because I really want you to coach. And I don't say this just because I want you to like coach. I've had friends die this year. I've had, you know, people who have told me their own autoimmune has gotten worse. I have friends in the hospital right now. Like, this has got to end. This is, you know, and it was one of the reasons that I was like, no, I am getting myself to a different place, because my mission is about helping you guys. And so I have to be stellar. It is just at a different place. So please, Jen, reach out to me. Hey, girl. As she's saying, gyms and wellness centers. What is the best? Okay, so gyms. I would say, you know, some gyms, and I've worked with a lot of coaches in my one-on-one practice, and also some gyms are open to having detoxes there. But, you know, again, this is all about positioning it right, just like when I did lunch bunches. Corporate wellness, you know, some gyms, they're open to that. But, you know, I would say the majority, you're going to see that, you know, they really are interested in, like, you know, weight loss, sugar, same thing I said in the beginning. Biggest pain points and biggest interest: weight loss, sugar, biohacking, energy, metabolism. I mean, it's like pretty fitness. So, grain-free, sugar repair. Oh, adrenal. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. Adrenal. I don't know one athlete that does not have adrenal issues. Hence why they're all with these major bags under the eye, and also why a lot of athletes get sick, because those adrenals are crashing and burning, because athletes are putting out so much output. Perfect example: Lance Armstrong. Love the guy. I mean, I'm sad on what happened with him and stuff like that. Not just cancer, but like, you know, doping. Is that what doping is? It's not drugs. It's that you take your blood, your good iron-rich blood, before you start training, and the doctor takes the blood out from your own blood, and they store it. So what happened when he was in Tour de France is that his whole team, so sad, his whole team, you know, pulled over in the Tour de France into this, you know, beautiful chalet, and they all lie down. And this is what eventually came out, because I also think, you know, talk about the energetic and the karmic, you know, pain of holding on to things. And we talk about that, you know, with disease. So they all pulled over, and they were in the chalet, and the doctors came, and they all lay down, clearly, or they sat up. I'm not sure which one, but they actually said, you know, that they all lay down, and they each told their story. That's what ended up coming out. And they lay down, and they, you know, the different, you know, things had their names of the blood. And so they lay down, they all got their blood. And, you know, the thing about doping is that it's not, you can't trace it per se. That's why, you know, so many athletes at that time were doing it, because you can't really trace it. There is a way to kind of trace it, and that's what came out in the whole movie, is that they can see if there is elevated, I forget exactly what it is, there's an elevated something in the blood, which is why you have to drink this one thing and pee really fast, which is why in the Lance Armstrong movie, in the documentary, there's a knock on the door, and he's like, and he goes and like pees and this whole thing. But what eventually happened is that there was like this massive guilt. He was accused of doping because he was, you know, older, and they were like, how could you, you know, have this time? But the whole point of that is that you're so iron rich with this blood, which is the whole what every athlete wants, because you're so adrenal fatigued. So what adrenal fatigue is in Chinese medicine, that word doesn't exist. It's a lack of blood. So what happens when a mom who's pregnant, it is adrenal fatigue, there's often the wrist hurts, or the elbow hurts, or the right knee hurts, or the hip hurts. A woman before she's getting her period, the lower back hurts, or the right eye twitches, or the top of the head hurts because this is the kidney area. The lower back hurts because that's the kidney area. Or most often you'll feel like your neck needs to crack. I mean, my acupuncturist she's my godmother. I call her my godmother, my fairy godmother, so to speak. But she and my first acupuncturist, which is godmother of my children, Jory Ellen Fish, have just taught me so much. And Paul Pitchford, who was the first book I ever bought when I got really sick and felt so disempowered and so lost, I didn't leave my house for 7 days. I read that book back to front to back, 2 to 3 times. Now I'm on my second copy because my first is falling apart, but I won't throw it out. There's so much to understand from these old ancient Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, because there isn't disease. It doesn't exist. It's about disharmony. It's all about, in Chinese medicine, lack of blood. That needing to crack is called wind in the body. It means that evil wind came in from the back of the neck. That happens when you get on a plane. That's why so many people get sick after a plane. It's not that you got sick from the dirty air. It's that wind, evil wind came in because there was a lack of blood to keep you strong. Digestion is not that there is bad digestion. It's that in Chinese medicine, it says kidneys are not strong to keep digestion strong. Asthma is not really asthma. It's that the lungs are not strong from the kidneys. Now, emotionally, that can happen. The kidneys are related to fear. So that's why, in my mind, the detox and the foods that we consume, if you really think about these programs, or you really think about energetically shifting and chakra alignment, or eating seasonally, that's why all the detoxes align with the chart that John Douillard puts out, eating seasonally. We use that chart methodically, and we have for over 5 years. And we try our best, to make it simple foods so that people in every country can get them. But I do feel that we also intuitively, we're called to those foods. There's a reason that I'm eating apples crazy right now, and beets and pears, and the foods that the bounty provides for us. Just like when we go into the spring, we do crave those lighter foods, those herbs and the sprouts and the things that to cleanse so that the liver and the gallbladder can decongest so that we're not angry. Because if we're holding on to resentment and anger, the body can't unsludge. And then we're congested in thought and mind and body and spirit. And the kidneys are fear. And so if we're constantly fear-based, we always have a disharmony in the kidneys and the bladder. And then we see these diseases, these itises, this inflammation, per the work of my favorite teacher in the world, Dr. Morse. We see these interstitial, this UC and this, this IC, and we see, these other disorders. And if we really just, I'm not saying everything, and I said this to a functional medicine practitioner earlier who I was talking to, I don't believe, that I can just Om Shanti my methylation system. I don't think that I can Om Shanti a lot of things. But I do have to say that through the work that I've done on self, in soul, in spirit, with the power of a lot of things I use, essential oils, homeopathy, through the people I've seen and work with, and the Chinese herbs, and the things and the testing that I've done over the years to learn and to be able to intuitively know when I need to use things. And these programs that I use on myself, that I've been given a great foundation. And that's what we get to pay forward. And the beauty of being a coach is that I don't have to know it all. Like when I coached, if I felt that somebody needs to go to an acupuncturist, because that is the journey that I went on, acupuncture and NET and, energy work and homeopathy, like I don't have to be a narcissist and say I can do it all, because I can't. I'm not a hormone specialist. And the reason I wanted to create the thyroid program was because I'm not a thyroid specialist. And I had constantly people coming to me, and I was like, I didn't know the test. And when my thyroid was a hot mess, and my eyes were bugged out or they were sunken, and I was struggling, and trying to get tests and not knowing what to do and not knowing what to eat, and someone screwed me up with too much iodine. I mean, that's when things got really bad for me. I just was like, what am I going to do? And so I really started digging, really started detoxing, working on my liver, my gallbladder. I mean, everything, taking steps. And I thought, wow, what if I was able to create these programs, the steps that I had to take? And I'll just explain to you really clearly, because when I said this to someone earlier, they were like, wow. I created the detox because I do believe that everyone needs that, to be in harmony always. Like, detox is not just this like one-time thing. That's why Anne-Louise Gittleman gave her approval on every program, because detox is a constant reprieve. Whether you believe that you need to do colonics, whether you believe that you need to do them yourself, whether you believe in probiotic enemas, look at Donna Gates. I mean, I don't make this up myself. This is based on teachings of so many people. Kim Schneider, John Douillard, Josh Axe, Paul Pitchford, I mean, teachers that I've even had, like Natalia Rose, like, this is not just because, I mean, Robert Morris, I mean, even detoxes that I've put in the past, and I asked Robert Morris, Dr. Morris, can I please put in the cold sheet therapy? Like, these were teachings that I had put in to programs because I learned. This wasn't because I made it up and felt that it would be cool to just like put it in there because I didn't know or didn't do. Colonics, coffee enemas. I mean, things that I had to do myself when I was really sick. And that was necessary. Rebounding, castor oil packs, when my lymphatic system was so congested that I could smell heavy metals literally coming out of my body when I had such heavy metal poisoning. And the sad thing is that the state of the world that we're in is mommy. And trust me, my cousin is Patty Lemmer, who I don't have her book right here, but she owns Developmental Delay, and she is an unbelievable woman that talks and teaches and empowers people on the very genetic disposition and factors that are affecting people and children, and this whole genes load the gun and environmental factors pull the trigger. So I have been blessed to be a part of this knowledge for a long time. So detox has always been there, and I feel like it's a vital step no matter what day. This is not just about, there are 500% more cars on the road per the work of Amy Asco, who is the woman that we were so blessed and were able to financially work with to do nutrigenomics many, many years ago when Max and Sammy were babies. So that's step number one. Step number two is I realized that some people needed to be grain-free. myself included, at times. And so that was the birth of the Grain-Free program. I realized also that there were people who, like myself, who when I went through IN, I was like, you know, these handouts were great, but I really needed to be able to teach people who were like myself, who wouldn't have committed to a 6-month program, not because I didn't believe in longer work, because that wasn't my personality to sign up with somebody for 6 months. I would have stayed with somebody for 6 months, but I wouldn't have committed. So that's where Revitalize came. And I also wanted a program that was an undetox, an undiet, a clean eating that talked about the 4 pillars of health. Putting yourself first, committing to change. And I knew that you can't, at that time, I was like, can't talk about food and can't talk about fitness. And I can't talk about all this movement. It wasn't even about fitness. It was movement. If you're not committing to self, you're not committing to change. So I wanted a 30-day program that went day by day. And when I launched that, I had coaches saying to me, my clients aren't losing weight. I never intended it to be a weight loss program, but I added in 2 weeks of weight loss because it's about serving you guys. And that was it. So then I added 2 weeks of weight loss. I then, as my coaching practice evolved, and as you guys kept asking for things and saying, we need this, I realized that I needed like more programs. I needed a gut program. This was all in my mind, but as I started seeing people were not going to sign up, and I wasn't going to convert people if I was constantly recreating the wheel and if I didn't have a system. And so I created a gut program. And that gut program had everything that was just in my mind. It just needed to be formatted. And so the gut program came, and sugar came. And sugar was really about showing somebody what happened to me, because my autoimmune was going crazy. And this is what Uriel Kime warned to me about when I interviewed him. He said, do you see that I have no hair? And I just thought he had shaved his head. He said, the birth of my son came, the most beautiful experience. And my alopecia came. I remember my eyes were like this. I had no idea. Well, that's what happened to me. Is that A1C. I'd always been hypoglycemic. My sugars were always low, but my A1C went high. I was breaking out in rashes and hives. It was bad. And that was really at the height of my autoimmune. And so after angioedema almost every month, that I wasn't really sharing about that much because it was just bad. That's when I was told by this wonderful ER nurse, test your sugars. One of the things I learned in school was that angioedema is directly related to sugars. The moment she said that to me, I was shocked. My sugars, when I went in always to test them in the office, were under 98. But she said, no, test it 2 hours after you eat. The sugars were skyrocketing. So long story short is once I got that under control and realized, and I sat with one of my acupuncturists who had diabetes, he said, I want to introduce you to something that's called ketogenic. I was in tears. I was like, wait, what? That was the beginning of, I want to say, the rest of my life. No joke. Because he said, this will reset. At the same time, I happened to be interviewing Terry Walls, who said the word ketogenic. And at that same time, this was when all biohacking and bulletproof was not just talking bulletproof and energy anymore, but everyone was talking ketogenic. So I started doing that, and it was hard. And I was in a turmoil because here I wrote raw because I had taught for somebody, and I was like, I believe in raw. I just was going to school, at Dr. Morse's twice. I'm at another detox school. I went to Natalia Rose. I believe in all this, but I'm so confused, which many of you say when you leave school, because you believe in all this. I was Weston Price for many, many years, but I had to come to this intuitive place, and I wasn't there yet. I wrote the raw program because I believed in raw clearly, but I had to come back to a place of what really worked for me, and I wasn't there yet. I was vegetarian. I was macrobiotic for many, many years, but it wasn't totally working. My adrenals had crashed. And so as I started getting better, I wrote sugar, because I realized that really took me to a different place. If I didn't understand my sugars, and I'd written Easy Weight Loss, that was really great for you guys. I'm just thinking about all the programs. I'm not doing them in sequence. And I wrote Easy Weight Loss because I really believed that I wanted to create a program for you guys that wasn't about calorie counting. And because I don't believe in that, because so many of us, so many women, so many people are obsessed on that, and I don't believe in that. And I don't believe also that coaches should put them in a liability zone. Red state, green state, yellow state, whatever, orange. It's not just for also even dieting, because I lived on that my whole life. My first diet, I was 9 years old. No joke. It's pathetic. It's crazy. But that was my first diet. And so my whole life was competitive athlete, everything. But I was obsessed with a diet. And so I wanted to write that because I wanted people and myself to say to anyone, no, this is about self-love and self-care. And so as I wrote these programs, it was an affirmation to say to coaches also, and to my clients, like, it doesn't have to be like this. This is a different way of life. When I wrote the adrenal program, that was when I really felt like I mastered my adrenals and understanding. It doesn't mean that they were totally where they are now, but I was like, whoa, oh my God, this is so about mindset. And when we wrote Mindset Makeover, that was like, I felt like, wow, I'm on a different road. And then Reset Your Life in 21 Days, I realized so many of you can afford Mindset Makeover, and I wanted you to have a smaller program or be able to do a challenge with that. And then came, the thyroid program for this season, and the 60-day weight loss, because I realized so many of you needed longer programs. I don't believe that anyone can just operate on one program. I've seen it with my clients. We've experimented with it. People don't just come back, which is why we also write a detox every season, and which is why we're totally flipping the script in the spring, and it's totally different. For those of you who are like, okay, my clients love these recipes, but it's time. I want to flip the script. So when I think about every program that we have, I'm trying to even think if there's another one, it was because I used every different one. And every different one had a place. It had a place in, the client who was like, well, I've been told I should eat this. I'm like, here. Or the mom who was like, well, I'm trying to get off sugar, but my kids, I'm like, okay, here, do Revitalize for your family. Do sugar for you. Here's grain free for your husband. Because you know what? I don't think there's one family who just eats the same. I've asked every family, even my neighbors. Everyone eats different. I know one family, a few families who make their kids eat all the same, but most families don't. So, that's really the breakdown of the programs. And you just have to find what feels right. And if workshops and really at the end of the day, they all have a mindset aspect to it, because I just don't believe that it's just about the food on the plate. And that is Janine Roth in a nutshell. And I feel like, you always have to add in your own special touch to anything. Doesn't mean you have to add it necessarily to the document, but your sales page, put a picture, put a video. If a video doesn't work, put something of you, put that in the emails, spend the time on the marketing, because people buy you and then they buy the program. I think that's it in a nutshell. I'm trying to think if I forgot a program. I would say the system for success, how I see, is detox, pivot to grain-free. Or if you don't feel like they need to be grain-free, pivot to sugar or pivot to gut. If they're weight loss, but I would say, like, if there's autoimmune issues, it's gut. Adrenals are usually out of whack. There's usually thyroid issues. You might have to go back. You might have to go forward. But there's usually a myriad of issues. And, you know, people are complicated because emotions are complicated. And, you know, if you've ever seen the movie What the Bleep, we hold emotions in ourselves. And so when I see people just making people into these little packages, we aren't that. So meet your client where they need to be met. But the marketable part of it is what we talked about in the beginning. That is the weight loss. That is the getting the cellulite rid of. That is the great skin. That's the great hair. And that's all of that. So, you know, speak about that, but also add in the parts which someone's like, wow, she just talked about the greatest, you know, probiotic, or she just talked about, you know, essential oils for anti-aging. Because I'll tell you, all my skin, it's freaking killer. It's, you know, that's what I bathe my skin in. Talk about those things which make you special. Or talk about something else, like the stuff you use for your armpit detox. Or, you know, do something that someone's going to be like, oh, wow, I remember when he or she did that. Separate yourself. That's it. Separate yourself. Make yourself memorable in some way. And, you know, trust me, it's not difficult. Just be you in whatever way that is. So with that being said, thank you so much for being here tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you need to schedule a session, and have a beautiful and divine night. We will be rocking out more of these live streams. I also rescheduled some of the times just because I know these holidays are insane. So just make sure to look for the update. I will not be blowing up your emails with like replays and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, please reach out. And if you need to schedule a time with me, I am going to, you know, take time with family and stuff like that. But please don't say this. I'm going to end with this. Made a huge commitment to self, big one. And this is October to December is always big times that make change. November, not to be like a Debbie Downer, but I'm talk always about very personal things. My pop-up when I was 18, he was pretty much a father to me. He was a very important man. He had passed away next to me. It was a life-changing experience. Probably one of the, it was actually within 2 weeks I got asthma. Talk about, you know, your kidneys just going out in sadness in, you know, the lungs. And so this is always a very like emotional time for me in November. But it's also a time that I make like lots of changes, always starting in October. And I made a commitment to self to not say sorry. Doesn't mean that I don't say sorry for things that I feel like are appropriate, but sorry shouldn't just be sorry. Sorry should be an amend, meaning you make an amend and so you don't do it again. Or you really take ownership of that, and it means that you change that really for life. So so I decided, like, you know, what would my pop-up on? His name was Joel, which is, you know, why Sammy's middle name is Jane, after him. So every time somebody, you know, calls me or texts me or, you know, messages me, they say, oh, I'm so sorry, I know you're busy. So please don't say sorry, because you're asking for something that you want. This is about also your business. And this is, I don't just coach about business. I coach about, you know, empowerment, such an overrated word. I feel like this is about, you know, success building of soul. And if you want something, ask for it. Don't say sorry. If you want to spend some time with me and it's something that you need, say, Rachel, I need to ask you a question. If you're not buying a program, that's different. Then schedule a strategy, you know, schedule a session with me and pay for it. And that's an equal exchange of me spending time with you and helping you to build your funnel so you have success. That's one thing. If you're buying a program that's an equal exchange, don't say sorry, because that's something, you know. But if you're confused and you're on the fence about something, that's a strategy session. That's different, and I'm willing, and that's a choice I make. And if we spend more time, and I'm a big girl, meaning I will make the decision. And if I feel like we've gone over time, I will say, I think, I have to go, or I have another appointment. I'll tell you. So, please take advantage of that. Ask for what you want. Too often we don't ask for what we want, and we don't get it. And then we don't get success in our life, and we don't go after what we want, or we don't get the support. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing the meal plan membership. So even if you don't want to, have meal plans, like if you need support, look at Launchable or look at the membership. Get the support that you need, because if you feel like you're sitting on the sideline and you're floundering, or you're not stepping up the line, for the football game, and you want to be, on offense or defense, and no one's picking you, then get picked, or put on the right jersey. And I know I talk a lot about football, but I love football and I watch a lot of it. So, be the first to be picked. But you have to show up with the right jersey, and you have to have cleats on, and you need to know the plays. And you can't just know the plays if you haven't ever watched football. So watch football, do the work, and get your whiteboard so that you can start writing your plays. And if you don't know how to write your plays, then get the support so you know what the plays are. And I think that's it. Was this helpful to everyone? Hey, Laurel. It was great talking to you the other day, too. So that's that, ladies and gents. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And we almost rocked out a 2-hour. This was jamming. Maybe we should just forget this whole webinar thing that we've been doing and just rock out live streams, right? Single focused. I feel like I'm changing everything, changing the way. I have this one copywriter. She was one of the best that I ever worked with. Her name was Kira Hung. She now does Copywriter Club, which is I've worked with a lot of great copywriters. I've been so blessed. I really have. She used to say to me, Rach, you just love going rogue. And so I've kind of gone back to that, meaning that she used to say, you just listen to your gut. And I think I stopped for some years and I lost it. And I don't mean like I wasn't doing well, but I lost that part of me that just was like listening to what felt good. And that's what I said to my husband last night. We always have these, we get so close during my launches. It's not that we ever are not, but we just had this talk, and I was like, I said, honey, you know what? I'm just going simple again. Like, I'm going simple, and I might even just, ditch like these huge launch plans and just start, doing it like this. And so anyway, I don't know, maybe you got to tell me about that. Tell me what you guys think, because it's you guys that it's really about. It ain't about me. So anyway, let me know how this went. If you need more of this, then we will do that. We will do that. We will roll out like that. So I hope you have a divine Thanksgiving. I really, really do. And with that, plan that. I love you all. Please hit me up if you need. And I roll, like, I don't need buffers. That's why I don't do that whole not approachable stuff. Amy is my super awesome lady. She's somewhere. I think she's the one. She's the one who is dropping here. So Amy is, the one that usually responds to you. But I also am the one who responds to you sometimes. So I have no problem jumping in there, like Gary Vee says, and getting a little dirty, because if I don't get dirty, what's the point? What is the point of that? So if you have questions, please hit us up. Yes, Amy is dropping that at team@rachelafeldman.com. We have no problem giving out our email. And also, if you need to schedule an appointment, we will meet on Zoom so you can see what you are buying. Exactly, yes. We'll also map out your funnel, please. I would love it, love it, love it. So you know what you are launching. Also, if you need to meet with me or call me or anything, please send a personal message through Rachel Feldman on Facebook, or connect with me, or join our free group. Amy, please put in our free group so everyone joins. And also, you can also download all our free tools at Rachel A. Feldman. Buy our programs. We love, oh my God, Katie, yes, my Aries friend. Oh yes, and if you're an Aries, please, drop fire, 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 fire. And I always love to know everyone's, I know, I'm so woo-woo about this. I ask everyone what their horoscope is. But I do have to know. I'm an Aries. I mean, Aries, Aries. I don't know what else to say it. But please, if you have questions about what program, what opt-in freebie, join our free group. You know, just that's about it. We're just excited, as you can tell. I mean, I am clearly a talker, but I have no problem talking to you. Like if you need to, you know, schedule a session. So anyway, I am going to stop talking so I can get this recording. And that's about it. Jen Virgo. My old business partner was a Virgo. So I actually do well with Virgos. I've got no problem. No problem. No problem. No problem. All right. So can everyone do a little dance off? So just shake it off. Do a little dance off. All right. Peace out, everyone. And I love you all. Let's rock this. I'm just going to say it. Just let's all give our affirmation. Say, I can do this. I've got this. I will leave overwhelm to the side. I'm going to have fun with my business. 2018 is mine. Woo! Own it. Have fun. Own it. Have fun. Bring it on. And I will just say, and I'm going to just leave with this because I am totally just putting it out there, like really putting it out there. If you do want to have some essential oil fun with me, join my team. We are kicking it off like crazy town 2018. And if you do not even want to team it up and build a business, but you want to stay healthy, like, because I do not like getting sick. Or if you just want to zen out because I don't go anywhere without my essential oils, please connect with me because I love oils. So peace out. And I love you all. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Amy. I love you. Up in Canada. Bye, guys.